Welcome to Built to Win, the podcast created to help you level up your business game by developing a success mindset made for the long run. In this episode, Neora's Dave Fleming talks with Leslie Hocker, a seasoned network marketing professional and a global leader for Neora with team members in every international market. Leslie tells us how Neora allowed her to turn her dream of making money into a way to help others, and also explains how direct selling fulfilled what had been missing in her career. Listen as she talks about how the industry has changed over the years and explains why she thinks direct selling is a gift.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Built to Win. Super excited to introduce my guest today. Her name is Leslie Hocker, and she and I have known each other for a few years now, actually, but she's just an incredible leader. And I've got the great pleasure of working with her and through Neora. And we've shared a lot of great experiences. Leslie's just coming back from Korea. So thanks, Leslie, for jumping on. And I know this is a quick turnaround for you since you were literally on the other side of the world just 24 hours ago. But we appreciate you being here for sure.
Excited to be here. And yes, Dave, I went from 11 degrees to 60 degrees, and tomorrow headed to Mexico for our incentive trip, and it's gonna be 80 degrees. So I'm happy to ditch the coat.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. That's hard on the body's internal temperature gauge, but probably welcome change. We talk about leadership on this podcast, and you are and have been a leader for quite some time. But for the people who don't know you, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself and who you are and like where do you live and just introduce us to Leslie Hocker and who are you?
Okay, great. So should I go all the way to the beginning, how I became an entrepreneur? Because I went to school, got a degree, went to work in the corporate world, that really thought that was what I wanted to do until I got to the executive level, and I realized that going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark and working weekends was not my idea of what I wanted to do with my life. And so I decided, hey, I need to own a business. And primarily not because of the money. I made great money in the oil industry, in the petroleum industry, but I had no time. I love to travel. I got my wish. I love to travel.
Sure
I love to travel. I love spending time with family. Family is very important to me. I'm married. My husband, Ron Forster, is my business partner. First, he was my business partner, and then we decided there was more to the partnership, and we got married. And we have two amazing girls and two grandchildren, a girl and a boy. And so for me, I would say that Neora came later in my career in network marketing because we decided we wanted to leave a legacy for our children and grandchildren. So
Okay.
that's how I came to network marketing, and I'm really honored to be on this podcast with you because I also love being able to pass knowledge from the last decades of my experience forward. I really feel like that's the period of my career that I'm in, is I've been through a lot of companies. I've seen the good, I've seen the bad. I've been through many business pivots, like there was no internet when I started. And so I really love being able to pass on success principles. So I love the idea of Built to Win.
Well, and you're a perfect fit for Built to Win because you do have that experience and you do have the, the ups, the downs, the entrepreneurship, everything that comes with it. And I've had the pleasure of talking to you about that, kind of understanding more about what that was, and I do want to talk about entrepreneurship. Obviously, you said it wasn't about the money necessarily, but you wanted to own your own business, and then you've ended up doing that. But what was it specifically about owning your own business that really excited you? Like, what was it I mean, was it the owning your own schedule or owning your own, like your potential for success, or like what was it that really triggered that desire?
Was having more choices in life. I was an athlete and a swimmer, so I was used to getting up at 5:30 in the morning, swimming for 2 hours, then going to school, to university. So I'm on a scholarship. And then, so I was used to a full schedule. And I, in the corporate world, I got up early, I went to work, I worked late. Okay, so as a female in the oil industry,
Yeah,
I
tell us a little bit about
literally,
that. That was
well,
pioneering.
I literally had to work twice as hard to get ahead, which meant more hours. And so it was really about, hey, if I can figure out a way to be in business for myself and to make a difference in the world, because I really wasn't making a difference in the petroleum industry that I felt like I was. So it was really about having more time to learn, to grow, to travel. I laughed when I was thinking about doing this podcast, to travel, to see new things, to meet new people. And Dave, when I first started, it was really all about me. And I think that's
Mm.
where most people start. I wanted my time. I wanted more choices for me and my family. So it was about me and my family. But then what happened was when I gave myself the choices I was looking for, then I got hooked on, oh, I can do this for other people. And so then it extended to, so I have a brother, I'm the oldest of five, and my youngest brother and my youngest sister are in the business with me. And it's allowed us to really connect and spend time together helping other people. So uh, I just got hooked. That's why I'm still here on helping others and making a difference and passing it on. I think that's why God put us here actually, was to learn and to grow and to be of service.
No, I love that sentiment. I think that a lot of people here at Neora, and especially people who are tuning in to Build to Win, probably feel the same way. I think generally most of us believe there's a higher purpose for being here, and it's not just to pass the time and get through. But so tell me, okay, so you're in the oil business and what you do now, not necessarily related from a product perspective, but I'm curious, were there principles from that business that helped you in this business, or are they just totally different and you had to kind of start over and learn the whole business that we're doing here in direct selling?
Well, I have two different answers that impacted me. First, I knew nothing about, I have a degree in business, and I always laugh and tell people that all they taught me was my specific field. So geology, engineering, law, but nothing about evaluating a business, starting a business, working a business, um, all the components of what that meant. So I knew nothing truly about working for myself. And I laugh, when I was in the oil industry, I had a secretary, I had clerks, I had people that did things for me. And all of a sudden I became the janitor and the secretary and the executive. It is quite a learning experience, which is why I love being able to work with a slight edge, being able to pass those principles on. The other thing that helped me more than anything was um, the time as an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
because I swam through junior high, high school, college, and at the beginning of every year, we set goals. And it's so interesting. And in swimming, you compete against yourself because you're
Mm-hmm.
competing against the clock. And there's an element of teamwork to it, which is very, very similar to network marketing, because in network marketing, I was an executive in the oil industry, so I had people that worked for me and they did what I told them.
Sure.
And in this business, it's everybody's own business. So I'm more of a mentor than a manager. So it's that art of helping people get where they want to go. But what I realized probably 2 years into my career in the petroleum industry was, hey, all those things I learned as an athlete, I need to bring forward into my life. So I brought all those skills forward of goal setting, competing against myself, working to be a little bit better every day, uh, the slight edge of we worked out every day. I mean, I swam 10 miles a day, 4 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. I mean, it was just the consistency. So all that shaped me being able to have success. And also it's funny now, when I came into network marketing in the mid 80s, it was mostly men.
Hmm.
And I was used to dealing with that in the corporate world, so it didn't really faze me. And I
That's
swam on
good.
the men's team. And then now, as we've evolved, network marketing is primarily female, I think, which is good, because you have that. Most women want to help people, and
Hmm.
this is a business of people helping people. And that's what I really learned over my career, over the various different companies I was with. And that is that it's about finding someone to mentor you and coach you and help you. And by the way, I was the worst student in the beginning because I had a degree and I knew everything.
Sure. I think that's not uncommon. I think a lot of people kind of come in, especially successful people like yourself. Like you had experience, like you knew what you were doing from a business perspective. And
Not.
so I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
When I have somebody that joins the business or joins network marketing that is already successful in traditional business or successful in a career, I'll pass on what one of my mentors, Paul J. Meyer, who was a multi-billionaire and was a sharecropper's son, and ended up becoming a multi-billionaire. He said one time, can you just spare us your brilliance for 6 months?
I
And
like
I've
that. I'm going
always
to keep that.
remembered that. Huh? What?
I like that. I like that. I'm going to borrow that.
So I'll ask people, can I give you a tip? Somebody that was a multi-billionaire shared with me, if you just set aside and follow a simple system and lock arms, and he told me I needed to spare everybody my brilliance for 6 months. And of course we laugh. Uh, and then that usually works out. In fact, I was just in Korea
Hmm.
with a woman who was I met her a year ago when I was there, sat down. She was a professor at a university, gave me her book. It's in Korean. No, I don't read Korean, but I accepted it. And I was sharing a simple system with her that we used to have success. And she said, basically, when we were done, the interpreter told me that she said that won't work. And I said, will you give us 6 months and then evaluate? And now she's at what we call a year later at a regional marketing director level. So
Good
I
progress.
thought
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
being able to share that with people that it's a teamwork business, unlike traditional business.
That's true. And I wish that there was, if there was a way to explain that to people, because I think a lot of people have certain impressions about what this business is and what it isn't. And I think that a
Mhm.
lot of people have this misconception that direct selling or network marketing is about, is all about you and you doing what is best for you. And when you get into it, when you start learning about this business, what it really is it's actually not. that way at all. It's much more about helping other people. Like you said, it's about helping other people do more than what they could do on their own. And so I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I think that is really a powerful part of the business that we're in and something that probably doesn't get enough attention overall.
One of the things that I've worked very hard to do as a leader, as a mentor, is to help people understand that we win. Somebody joining, I actually say this to new people. I am so excited. Congratulations, all the things. I do need you to know that you joining is great, but our job is to help you win, and we actually win not just because you join, but we win when you win.
Hmm.
So it's the two together,
For sure.
and
Yeah.
starting people off with that concept.
How do you help somebody understand that? Like, is that something like, because we know if you've been in this business for a little while, you know that you kind of understand that at a level that people who haven't done this don't get yet. How do you help people absorb that and get them like understanding that, hey, this is like we're trying to help you be successful, and what it means to be successful is that you've got to help other people be successful. Like you can't do this on you can't get to the top. You can't get to the like you can't do what you've done, Leslie, without helping other people be successful in this business. And that's just the
Yes.
reality.
It really takes showing, it's the telling people and then showing them and then doing it with them together and reinforcing that. And I think maybe it's easier for me conveying that because I laugh at the fact that the first 6 months in my career in network marketing, I failed because I tried to do it all on my own, my way, because I had been successful doing that in my corporate career path.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, tell us about that. Like, so you've learned that yourself. Was there a moment where that kind of clicked for you? Or did it kind of come over time gradually and you're like, okay, you're learning how to do this business and finally like it kind of just one day put it all together?
It took me about 6 months. I don't know if that's fast learning or slow learning. It
I don't know. I
I
don't know if there's a right answer to that, to be honest.
because seeing that other people were having success and knowing that what was possible, and I was surrounded by some good people. Probably the person that enrolled me, which happens a lot, he was my next door neighbor in that company, my very first company, and he had no background in business and no experience in business. And he didn't introduce me to people. He just said, "This is how we do it." And I'm thinking, yeah, what do you know? And I got him to, I believe in, I love personal growth and I believe in training and learning. And so I just sought out people, and then they're like, okay, well, this is what we're doing. So I just turned myself over to being a student. So I'll laugh at myself and share my story with people. And usually I ask them, can I give you a tip? Don't be like me. And that seems to help that process. I think stories, that's the one advantage maybe that I have at this point is I've been through enough experiences. Ron, my husband, and I have been through enough experiences in this space to know what works, what doesn't work, but also to be open to pivot. I've had to pivot as things change. So I don't know. I was definitely a student of, I'll tell you, I was a student of personal growth before network marketing because as a female in the petroleum industry, managing men twice my age, I figured out I better work on myself. So maybe
Mm.
that's that philosophy of personal growth and working on myself and trying to be a little bit better so I could help someone else. That
Sure.
hadn't really thought about it, but that's probably a big part of it because I started in personal growth and reading and learning probably about 24 or 5.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you've been, and that something that you naturally gravitated to, or was that something you felt like you had to do in order to succeed in the career that you, because you, like you
Had
said,
to
you had to, okay.
I felt like I had to do it because I didn't have anyone. It's interesting because there was no one to mentor me as a female in the petroleum industry.
Sure.
And then it was fun because I got to mentor other women as that started happening. But I always say I'm a young entrepreneur because I found network marketing at the age of 28.
Okay.
I was a young, I was, I came, I went far fast in the oil industry because of the timing and timing in business, timing in a career, timing is everything. So it,
Yeah, that's definitely true. Is there, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I think timing is one of those things. How do you, as a successful entrepreneur, is that something, are you looking for windows of opportunity to take advantage of? Is that something that you're always kind of attuned for and that when it pops up, you can take advantage, or do you have to train yourself for that, or like dive into that a
it
little
was
bit?
it was a life lesson. So something you probably don't know about me is when I said I want to start a business, if I'm going to get where I want to go in life, I need to start a business. That was what I said in my mid 20s when I was going to work in the dark, coming home in the dark, and working weekends. But I knew nothing. I didn't know about network marketing. I didn't know. I laugh. I'm not even sure I knew what the word entrepreneur meant. I knew what business owner meant.
Hmm.
So uh, I had been going to a Pilates studio and that was for the Houston Ballet, and they closed it to the public. So I decided I'm going to open a Pilates studio. That was my first business, traditional business. And everybody goes, "Oh my God, that's amazing." No, I was 20 years ahead of the timing for that exercise.
Yeah,
I had
a
a
little ahead of
lot
your
of
time.
foresight on that one. Oops. Uh, so that was when I became aware that timing in business is like location and real estate.
Hmm.
So yes. So I actually had my full-time career in the petroleum industry. I had the Pilates studio, and then somewhere about 6 months later, my neighbor introduced me to a wellness company. And as an athlete, I have a love of health and wellness. So that's that's how I ended up in network marketing. I thought, well, this makes sense. And I will share with you, Dave, for people that don't understand our model, uh, the residual income made sense to me because back then in the petroleum industry, every deal, every I was in the exploration side, so every well that I was able to take to drilling, final drilling, and then the production, I got an override on. So I'm still
Oh,
getting overrides today. I mean, they're little, they're like 1/8 of, whatever, but
that's
so
still pretty cool though. That's
so
all.
I understood that doing the work and then getting paid. I did a lot of work before there was any big payoff. And yeah, I was on a salary, but uh, getting paid over and over and over again. So that very much was why I could see the big picture because when I first started back then, we only got paid like once a month in network
Yeah.
marketing. But I had only gotten paid 2 times a month in the petroleum industry, so it wasn't that big a deal, right?
Yeah.
So it's fascinating. I hadn't really thought about that in a while.
That's cool though. I mean, and this is it's fun to kind of take a look back at like historically and all the things that you've been able to accomplish across this career. I'm curious, you've done this for a few years. What is your favorite thing about this business? What you still get excited about it? What is it that keeps you excited?
My favorite thing is being able to cheer other people going across the stage. I love being able to meet new people, make new friends, to travel, and to help empower others to have a joy-filled life that you don't need a vacation from. And seeing people win, maybe not even go across stage, just see people win. And the phone calls that you get saying, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me. We were able to buy presents for Christmas for our kids this year. Was able to take my daughter to New York for a special, vacation after she graduated, all those things. Uh, and I
That is
know
cool.
from personal experience that most people are one life event away from something major happening where they need extra income. So I
Mhm.
think it's a gift.
Yeah. That's really cool though, because and it fits right in like what you were talking about earlier is, succeeding in this business by helping other people succeed, and that's just how it goes. On the flip side, what's your least favorite thing about this business besides traveling to
Um,
Korea in January and February?
yeah, I'd rather go in March and April.
Yeah.
Um, but it's worth it because there people in Korea and Asia, Japan, China, they're the same. They want more opportunity. They want more choices.
Mm.
They want more for their families and their loved ones. My least favorite is I take it personally sometimes when people say no to the
Mm.
business, and I think they're saying no to me. And I also know I believe in people maybe sometimes more than they believe in themselves. And
Mhm.
so it's sometimes interesting, hard for people to believe because I was very shy as a young girl and as a teenager, and even in my career in the petroleum industry, because I negotiated contracts. So, you're not, I wasn't selling anything, I was negotiating. And I think my least favorite part is when people don't see that they or believe that they could have a better life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is hard. They don't see the potential to be different or to be something greater than they are today. Is that what you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's I discovered because I worked with I actually met Anthony Robbins in my very first network marketing company. He joined. He was young. He was like 25, I was 28. And I ended up working with him. And that's when I realized that most people give up on their dreams in their 20s.
Mm.
And I'm very blessed because my parents always said you could do whatever you want to do. And they just reinforced that. And they really encouraged us doing things and expanding, and they let us fail if something didn't work. So I think they helped a lot. I'm very blessed, help build resilience in for life. And I think this business can be a challenge for some people because it does have ups and downs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I have a philosophy that if you've done anything before that's been successful, like Ron will do a training where he talks about, how did you graduate high school? And remember when you were in the first grade and they told you you were going to have to do this 11 more years. I remember that. I was like, what? Or you got to the sixth grade and you're like, you still have 6 more years or however, whatever. That's about right, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that whole thing of it takes time and give yourself grace. A lot of people will join, and if they're not successful in a week or a month, they think so. Helping just mentor and coach people through the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell me, okay, so this has been an amazing conversation, learning, and I think people who are tuning in are learning a lot about a lot of different things, but especially about kind of the mindset of being a successful entrepreneur and being a business owner. If you could give out, this is the last question, and we'll let you get on your way. I know you still got to pack for Mexico, but um, if you could give people advice about if they're considering like starting a business like this one, what would you tell them? Like, what are the most important things in 90 seconds or less?
My gosh, 90 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I learned, I will just say that if you're listening to this and you don't own a business, you really should. First year I paid taxes. I asked my CPA, is this legal? So you turn living expenses to business expenses. So find something, whether it's Neora or not. I think Neora is the best, and here's why. Uh, Unique products that cannot be copied, which is why I sat out of network marketing for a few years because I couldn't, and I came back to Neora because I know for the average person with no experience in business, it takes them time to learn. And you have to have a product that's unique that they can't go get at a big box store. So
Mm.
unique products, timing in in business is everybody, people are looking for what you have. The leadership of the company, very critical. I always laugh, Dave, when we first started the company, my friends are saying, oh, so the doctors started a company. And I'm like, thank God, no, because they don't teach doctors how to run a business in medical school. I've already been there. That was my first company, a great product that a doctor brought to the US, and we blew up the company in a good way, lots of sales, and it novaed. We imploded it. So
Mm.
leadership of the company with experience in this space and traditional business, very important. Someone that's worked in the field. Um, Simple systems that anyone can do. Full-time mom, full-time executive, spare time, part-time, full-time. They're working their business in and around their life. Very important with that. And the fifth thing that I think is the biggest key is people to mentor you and coach you and work with you that have a culture of people helping people,
Mm.
that will help you get where you want to go, not where they want you to go. So my job as a leader is to help find out where people what they want and help them go where they want to go. And then I win and they win.
And everybody wins. That's what we're looking for. We've talked about this on Built to Win before.
Win win.
Yeah, looking for those opportunities where it's like, everybody can win. And we've always talked on this podcast about having that abundance mindset. Like, just because somebody's doing well doesn't mean somebody else isn't doing well. Um, so this is good. But this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you coming on to the show and spending some time with us. And thank you again for being here. It's been absolutely great, and look forward to having you on the next time.
It's fun. I enjoy working with you, and I appreciate very much being able to share with others some of the success mindsets that I've learned, and I am grateful for Neora.
Well, Neora is grateful for you, so that's a that's a mutually beneficial statement there. So thank you, and thanks again, and thanks to everybody for joining in to another episode of Built to Win, and we will be back next time. Can't wait to see you.
Bye, everybody.
That was Dave Fleming talking with Leslie Hocker about finding fulfillment through direct selling. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you learned something from it, please share it with a friend or colleague who you think would also benefit. And if you're new to Built to Win, we invite you to go back and listen to our story from the beginning. You can find us wherever you download your favorite podcasts. And while you're there, please rate us and leave a review to let us know what you think of the show.